Welcome, heroes. My name is Joshua Pardo, and I'm a 2019 graduate of Mickey Leland College Preparatory Academy, Flow alumni, former DiscoverU intern, and a current senior at Sam Houston State University in Huntsville, Texas.
And I'm Abby Malloy, Assistant Director of Programs at DiscoverU. Today is such a special day, and it's an honor to have you here and welcome you to the second ever Friends of DiscoverU Virtual Bruncheon.
That's right, and we are so happy to have you here supporting and joining us today because we are coming together to honor a very special person, Judith Cruz. As you'll see, Judith has left an incredible legacy here at DiscoverU, and we are so grateful for her leadership and vision.
Judith hired me to join the middle school team back in 2018, and becoming part of the DiscoverU Flowmash was one of the best decisions in my professional life. Josh and I will be your MCs today, and we're going to start off with the blockbuster that is Judith's story. So please enjoy. Judith is such a real-life superhero. It's an honor to honor her, and we've got an amazing show for you today. We can't wait to tell you all about DiscoverU's student supports and programming. To learn about fantastic learning opportunities, or flows, play a ridiculous game of Flow Trivia Bingo, and hear some heartfelt testimonials about our honoree, Judith Cruz. But first, we do need to recognize our amazing supporters who have made today's event possible.
Special thanks go to our chief underwriters today, Steve and Rebecca Amstutz.
And let's not forget those additional donors. The HISD Confucius Institute,
Paul and Joy Pasoli,
Beth and David Speck,
Scott and Sarah Van Beck,
Jennifer and Andrew Caprell,
Paul and Carly Buchanan,
Monica Piquet Rodriguez and Alejandro Rodriguez,
Ian and Aaron Stewart,
Charles Mansell,
Holly Price,
Mudit Kapoor,
Chris and Allison Porter,
Dr. Bobby Samuels,
Amber Hoffman,
Janice and Michael Willett,
Kate and Steve Fowler,
Susan and Jeffrey Coons,
and Andy and Robert Stewart, and those of you at home hosting your very own superhero soirees, Jamie Bailey,
Eric Bartz,
Nadia and Terry Bruner,
Lynn and Virgil Greenwood,
and Champ Warren.
Let's not forget our Rockstar in-kind sponsors, Selected Food and Beverage, who have provided the bubbly to make our brunch a classy affair by underwriting our Prosecco. And we would not be anywhere, literally, without the generosity of Ann Whitlock and Michael Skelly, who have so kindly allowed us to use their fantastic space to host our in-person VIP reception today. So thank you, Ann and Michael, for your commitment to providing the community with such a lovely space to gather for causes such as ours.
Did you know that service fees only cover 53% of DiscoverU's operating budget? Fundraising efforts, including events like this, help fill the gaps and ensure all students have access to experiential learning.
All right, so let's get this show on the road. And to kick us off, let's have George Vanderveer, DiscoverU's Executive Director, share some remarks.
Welcome to the second annual DiscoverU Brunchin'. My name is...
George, you forgot something.
What did I forget, Ash?
What are you wearing?
Do I really have to?
It's for the children.
Well, if it's for the children. Hello, fellow citizens. This is Mr. Incredible. Mr. Vanderveer asked me to step in to welcome you to the second annual DiscoverU Brunchin'. We have an amazing program for you today. Not only are we going to get to honor Judith Cruz, one of DiscoverU's greatest superheroes, but you get to see the heroic acts performed by DiscoverU staff in empowering youth across the city to take a hold of the power of experiential learning. So sit back, enjoy the program, and I wish I could stay, but I have to fight crime right now.
Thank you, George. Mr. Incredible.
You know, Abby, now I'm feeling a little underdressed. It might be time to discard our secret identities.
I agree. Shall we?
Yep.
Much better. Looking good, Spidey.
Totally. I suddenly feel much more powerful and responsible because, you know, those things go together. Not too shabby yourself, Wonder Woman.
I am feeling my Amazonian roots. Just as Wonder Woman developed her powers within a close-knit community surrounded by caring adults, so too do students who engage with DiscoverU services. DiscoverU values relationships above all else. Relationships with young people, first and foremost, but also with families, school staff and administrators, flow programs, and community members. Just as Hippolyta guided me to greatness, Judith's powers of positive relationships set the tone within DiscoverU. Now let's hear from some folks who also owe Ms. Cruz a debt of gratitude.
Hi, Principal Brandy Lira here at Eastwood Academy High School and HISD. Just wanted to say thank you, Judith, for all of your support and leadership over the years. I first met Judith back in 2014 when she was supporting our campus through DiscoverU. Thank you so much, Judith, for everything you have done, both for our community here in the East End, Eastwood Academy specifically, and each of our students you have impacted.
As an intern for DiscoverU, and in really trying to understand what the work looks like, I got maybe the most personal way that we can get a kid to go on a flow. And we were kind of working later on an afternoon. I want to say it was like a Thursday or Friday before a kid was supposed to head off on his out-of-state trip to a flow, and Judith was like, I'm not getting the response I need. I need to relay this information. I'm going to his house. So she's like, can you do these tasks while I go to the student's house and wait for them to come home so that they know this, and this, and that they are ready to go on the flow and that they actually go on the flow. So Judith just did like a whole stakeout outside of their house, and connected with their parents in a way that only Judith can. And it was successful. A student was prepared, and they went. So yeah, Judith goes to great lengths. Thank you so much for the leader that you've shown me one can be as a woman, as a person of a unique cultural background, as a wife, as a mom, as a professional in your field. You set a wonderful example of excellence, persistence, and incredible progress. Thank you.
Hey, so I'm just kind of cozy in my dorm room at the moment because it's kind of cold. But my face is on one of the things, and I never knew that. I wish Miss Judith would have told me. But from my junior to senior year, because the DiscoverU was a new program at the time, and I met Miss Judith Cruz before I knew about DiscoverU. So she influenced me to participate at the time with my sister at the Rice University Rice Summer Institute, and I had a very fun time doing that. It helped me realize it wasn't really something I meant to do, but she did push me in ways that other people, I apologize, that was weird. She pushed me in ways that other people didn't do at the time. So I really do appreciate Miss Judith Cruz and throughout my journey of high school before COVID. And you have a nice one. And it's really nice that you are doing what you've always meant to do, which is serving kids in the community. Oh, it's been a little minute, but I hope you have a good one, Miss Judith Cruz.
Hi, my name is Abby Malloy. I'm the Assistant Director of Programs at DiscoverU. And Judith Cruz is my hero because she really showed me the reins of the organization when I first joined about 4 years ago as a middle school advisor. She was there to kind of lead me through everything, gave me the encouragement, empowered me to be the best advisor that I could be to these students. Thanks to her teachings and to her leadership and mentorship, I have been able to continue the work that she taught me within the organization, and I'm very grateful for that. I couldn't be here without her. So thank you, Judith.
We're here to honor Judith Cruz. I first met Judith at Lantrip Elementary when our children started kindergarten. As you know, Lantrip is probably the oldest operating school in HISD. And here is her students, mostly it's a Title I school, putting in a time capsule. Marathon Kids was a huge program when we started at Lantrip. Lisa Brooks was brought in to mentor us in community building, and she really helped us grow as a group. We formed our own group called Lantrip Bloom soon after, and we wanted to cultivate a healthy child, school, and community through gardening, physical activity, environmental stewardship, and community service. We did a lot of gardening in those days. This was the early garden for the school. It was a little bit run down, needed a little bit of help, but the students still enjoyed working on it. We held gardening classes, we held gardening events, we did gardening classes, we had gardening sales, we had butterfly gardens. We grew the plants there. We visited Nature's Way several times. And then family. Family is very important to Judith, and her family is involved. When you get Judith, you get the whole family. So here's Eric, my number one favorite guy, who's had my lawnmower in his garage for about a year. Eric in action there. And then Judith's dad and Isaac, who is my son's age. And Dad is also helping out. It's a family affair. And then our very close fellow members at Land Trip, Charlene and Selma. And here's Benjamin and Javier. And as you all know, Judith is incredibly organized. This was the school calendar for us as a group in December of 2012. You'll see here that we have something almost every day this week, right in a very hectic month. We often did this walk to bike or school day. This was modeled after a national program, and we instituted it at Land Trip. We actually held it monthly, and then we did the big yearly event for several years. This was really well received. We used to hand out stickers to the students as they came through, and it was incredible how much buy-in we got from the community. We had mothers walking, fathers walking. There's Eric. We had grandparents. We had siblings. We had so many students. This was just incredible, the turnout. We wanted to make it exciting to come to school, and to come to school in kind of a non-traditional way. The kids just loved it. We also did it on bicycles, and we had just tremendous turnouts. It was very well received. One of the other things we did were art contests. We wanted to kind of promote the recycling theme of Land Trip, so we held a contest. We collected art from the students, and here's the winner. We put this on a huge banner outside, just to remind students of what the end prize was. And we also participated in Project Learning Tree. Here we are with Tamberly and Veronica and Judith there, learning about nature and environmental causes. We collected massive amounts of volunteers through our time at Land Trip. Here is the typical sign-in sheet. Please join us. You know, we needed to collect a lot of volunteers for our programs. We even had people volunteer to grow plants for sale at their home. And here are some volunteers that way. We also did a bicycle rodeo one year. This was very exciting. We had an escort, and we walked on the newly paved Columbia, one of the rails to trails. It was very exciting. We participated in Brighter Bites. Here we are with the volunteers and the massive amount of supplies that were donated. Here's all the hardworking volunteers, including Judith. We did walk across Texas. Karen, one of our fellow PTA members, thought that Judith brought out the best in everyone. And here we are there. And we actually became a Title I PTO, which I think we were one of the first here in Houston. It was very exciting. Charlene, another PTO president, says that Judith is amazing in all her roles with our accomplishment. Yes, that is entirely true. And here's our super PTO members. And we participated in Riders in the Schools. We also donated books that we collected from Half Price to all the students. And this was our big project, Judith and ours in particular. Basically, we wrote a grant to keep America beautiful, and we actually won a $20,000 grant. Judith and I immediately had nightmares afterwards because we thought, oh, how can we possibly do this project? We're going to need so many volunteers. Here's Mrs. Strickland helping out. The first day that we started on this project was very muddy. You can see here that we all were working. We built a mulch path around the school with many, many volunteers. And then we also built a pad to rest these raised garden beds on. So we entirely had to collect massive amounts of volunteers every week. We did this for several weeks in a row. And we really transformed the outdoor area into more of a outdoor classroom, really embracing gardening with these raised beds and this pad. And it was really a tremendous effort. And I think Judith moved some of this heavy equipment in her car at one time. And it really transformed the community. Here we are celebrating its completion. It was really just a fantastic experience. And I'll always be grateful for all the time I spent at Land Trip with Judith. She is just an incredible woman, and she should be highly regarded. And I'm just so proud of her and everything that she does. Thank you.
So Judith's a hero because she is aware of students. She's aware of their needs. She's courageous in looking out for those students and their needs. And she's also a person of integrity. And so she stands for what she believes, and she always fights for for what's right.
And yeah, this message goes to Judith Cruz. We just want to thank you for everything that you've done for DiscoverU and the Flows. You left it in great hands. The program is growing more than ever. And literally, we're essentially following to your footsteps in a lot of things that you left behind. And so we're proud of you and all the work that you're doing for HISD, and we're happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Go.
Hi, my name is Mincho Jacob, and Judith Cruz is my big sister, and she's amazing because she's very generous and cares very much. She's very empathetic in general, I think is the best way to describe her. She's always doing things for the community, for other people, be it our family or just random people on the street. Is something that we've always very valued in our family, and she really embodies that and takes it to the next level on helping people and trying to be there for the community.
Judith Cruz is a hero because of her incredible humility. She was one of the first staff members for DiscoverU that was assigned to work on site at schools, helping students apply and participate in fantastic learning opportunities. And she went about that work just in an incredible way, passionate, persistent, and with this steadfast love for every young person that she encountered. Judith has gone on for years to be a steward of DiscoverU's mission. And for that, we want to say thank you. We know that you've never expected, nor have you ever wanted any recognition or reward, so I'm sure this is hard for you. But thanks for being one of my heroes, and thanks for everything you've done for young people in fantastic learning opportunities.
Now, you don't need a superpower to see the impact that Judith has had on others. And let's not forget the other important reason why we're all gathered today: to sustain DiscoverU's work with financial support. As you'll see in our deep dive into the flow process, our work is necessarily inefficient. It relies on quality time spent with individuals and their families. It puts students in the driver's seat, allowing them to take ownership of their development for perhaps the first time.
Yes, and this takes incredible resources. Think Marvel movie budget level resources. Be our Kevin Feige. Okay, that's admittedly a niche reference. What it means is your donation makes you a producer on the most important biopic ever. Actually, thousands of them. For each of our students is the hero of their own feature. Head on over to the donate button at the top right hand of the screen and join the DCU, DiscoverU. I might have taken that one a little too far.
Okay, you might be right, both on your convoluted analogy and the need for DiscoverU to receive support from individuals like those who are tuning in today. Every dollar makes a difference in the lives of Houston's young people in exploring the world and forging their unique paths.
DiscoverU depends on individual donors to help underwrite our programs, including flow advisor salaries, student flow scholarships, and technology to help us work effectively. The true cost of sending a student on a flow can range from $2,000 to $5,000.
You know, the reason our theme today is superheroes is because DiscoverU really works wonders in equalizing access to experiential learning, and they work at the cross section of the individual and the system. As DiscoverU's reach across Houston has grown exponentially, the staff has invested in the creation and implementation of the standard flow process that ensures that every student is provided with consistent, high-quality support and nobody falls through the cracks. The flow process consists of 6 stages that have standard activities and touch points, but it also allows for the flexibility needed to meet the individual needs of each student.
Was this flow process a result of the failed attempts to clone Judith and create a legion of super flow advisors?
Well, luckily the idea was shot down in the design phase, but no, this is a result of over 30 years of collective experience in our leadership and the staff that have been doing this work. You could say that #experience matters when it comes to the flow work.
Ah, I see what you did there, Wonder Woman. Let's learn a little more about the first 2 stages advisors guide students through, the informed and matched stages.
That's right, Spidey. It starts with information. For the students, it's information about the opportunities available to them. And for DiscoverU, it's information about the students' interests, goals, and developmental readiness.
That's followed by flow match activities, which are incredibly important when it comes to helping students access the right programs for them. Here's a rad video breaking down these stages.
We don't typically run the programs ourselves, but we offer that support that the programs, don't have the ability to offer, the one-on-one support for the students.
We have something for everyone, even if it's not something super specific to what you want to do. So just give us a chance and you'll love it.
To advocate for students from programs, their school leadership, and even their parents, and kind of guiding them through what would be some new experiences that flows could provide, and how to kind of help students at every stage.
What I think is unique about DiscoverU is how hands-on we are from the very beginning of the flow process to the very end and even beyond.
I think one of the biggest barriers that we have, or our students have here, is the fact that they think they can't participate in certain programs, and DiscoverU's advisors are there to walk them step by step and showing them and letting them know that they can be a part of anything, they can participate.
Let's just sit with the fact that Sierra has given presentations to at least 616 students.
And so for what my job is to help you through the application process.
This slide you guys see is actually some examples of DiscoverU flow programs that students like yourselves have done in the past.
I'm Sierra. I am a flow advisor. What do I do on the day-to-day? I meet with students, I give presentations. A lot of times I just like to kind of do one-on-ones, learning a little bit more about the students so that I can connect them to flows. I think that's the most important.
Some of these programs have been around for many, many years, and we just those programs don't typically have the outreach, available for our students. And so we provide that outreach, we provide that support. Like, if you've never applied for anything before in your life and you just come across this application that has so many different things that you've never done before, you don't know where to start, and because you've never, had that opportunity, then that's where we come in and like, okay, we got you, this is how you do it, and we walk you through the process.
The Flowmash Survey takes all of their interests, future goals, and plans, and compile recommended flows for that particular student. Once they receive those recommended flows, we choose two flow programs, whether they are recommended to the student or within our full flow catalog.
After reading the flow record and understanding it, you will create a flow progress page. And from there, you'll keep track of all your information, and then you've matched.
DiscoverU has a lot of programs for whatever you want to do. If it's entrepreneurship, STEM, technologies, things like that. Like they got something for everyone,
What you guys to be doing is following up with those students and saying, hey, you've been recommended this program.
I think the personalized support is something that DiscoverU offers exclusively, because you don't really get support when it comes to applying for opportunities and walking you through each step. For example, when it comes to essay prep and stuff, I know lots of students have trouble talking about certain ideas, and it can be hard pulling that out. And I think DiscoverU, we really just work on strengthening those skills that students already have.
They've helped me apply to other organizations where I received $35,000 in scholarships. And they're just the one company that I can say has had my back through this entire process.
After the match stage, students apply to the program of their choice. Flow advisors are on hand to role-play interview techniques, assist in resume creation, edit essays, and coach students through the process of requesting a transcript. Every flow has different components and all mirror aspects of the college application process and require students to take healthy risks.
Yes, I totally remember how daunting it was when Joshua Pardo was a freshman in high school applying to his first flow. It really helped to have a flow advisor there encouraging him, even when I was nervous or didn't think I would get into the program. Josh.
Do you need some help telling this story there, Spidey?
That'd probably be great.
All right. So, Josh, not Spider-Man, came to DiscoverU as a freshman in 2015 with an intense interest in all things relating to Japan. While there were several flows that involved international travel, as a 14-year-old, Josh and his parents were not yet ready to take that adventure. So fortunately, DiscoverU makes sure that we have options that meet all developmental and eligibility levels for students. So Josh's advisor, our very own Judith Cruz, sat with him to explore other interests and options and directed him to another program, Concordia Language Villages in Minnesota, which combined Japanese language and culture instruction with traditional summer camp experiences. DiscoverU negotiated a full scholarship with the program and cost-shared the travel expenses, leaving Josh to raise funds for only half of his plane ticket.
So yes, during the trip, we got to experience a lot of Japanese culture, experience a lot of the food, and even just have a lot of fun with people who are actually from Japan. They constantly spoke Japanese every day, and they even challenged us to speak with them, even if we didn't know it as much as other students would.
So the following year, Josh applied to CIEE High School Abroad's extremely selective Japanese language and culture program, but was not offered admission. Buoyed by his previous flow success, Josh took the denial in stride, and he remained undeterred. He then attended Concordia again to further improve his Japanese skills. And now, ready to travel internationally, even if Japan was no longer on the table, he applied to multiple programs his junior year, eventually earning a fully funded stay in China with the HISD Chinese Summer Bridge program through the Confucius Institute. Today, Josh is a senior at Sam Houston State University, and he credits his success to the experiences that he enjoyed as a teenager. Josh's story illustrates the student-led nature of the flow advising process, and that through patience and persistence, as well as guidance from a supportive adult, students can reach their experiential learning and life goals with the support of DiscoverU.
Yeah, so the trip in China was amazing. We got to travel to Beijing and even climb the Great Wall of China, see the terracotta soldiers, and much more than that. We also tried different foods that I never thought I'd try, something better than Panda Express. And it was just an overall great trip. I made some really good friends that I still are connected with today.
That's awesome. So acceptance is nearly midway through the process. Students now work very closely with their flow advisors to brainstorm, problem solve, and plan their flow experience. Advisors connect with parents to ensure a buy-in and to answer any questions that they could have. Students then complete the accepted student form. They formally request financial aid and then begin fundraising or making payments towards their balance.
Head spinning yet? Here's a quick video to show you what we mean.
The actual calculations are performed in the control unit, where flashing lights indicate the progress of the machine.
In the student portal, you can track your own progress. So you can say, oh, okay, well, I've applied to this program. Let me mark it as applied so that I know, when I'm going back, I have school.
Sierra, you've got Thor for Amigos. That's coming up pretty quickly. You might look at that and say, hey.
With CCamp, it happens at A&M Galveston. It's a really neat program. It shows you the description.
I got two pickles.
But they're actually burritos.
Whichever flow program you want to apply to, I will help you with the application process, with submitting applications, how to get letters of recommendations, transcript.
We make it a point to tell our students that there are real people behind those alerts and emails.
Because I would think about stuff in my head, but I didn't really I didn't really understand until I read what you wrote, what I said, and I was reading it and I was wow, this is really eye-opening. This is really, I kind of matured.
Without DiscoverU, I wouldn't have even finished my application, as I had doubts along the way, but thank you to my DiscoverU manager, I was able to finish my very strenuous application, as the program only has a 16% acceptance rate. So thank you, DiscoverU, for this life-changing summer.
Bang, hold it. Steady now. Steady, Mr. Bang. Take it easy.
Upon their acceptance, we celebrate because they have achieved a huge goal. First, achieving the goal of completing an application. Now they have been accepted. flow programs, they vary by cost. Some of them are free, some have a cost, but behind those costs, there are plenty of scholarship and financial aid opportunity.
We also offer financial aid and scholarships through DiscoverU, and then affordable payment options, payment plans.
So we need students to provide us with the information that they've been accepted, so they have to complete their accepted student form.
We've now made it to our penultimate stage, making sure students are prepared to have a safe, successful flow experience. Students at the prepared stage have completed any post-acceptance tasks for their flows. DiscoverU books travel and hosts students and families at our Family Bon Voyage event, where they confirm transportation and flow logistics, pay final balances, and meet fellow flowsters headed to similar destinations. Leading up to their travel dates, students receive automated and personalized reminders to ensure they are ready to go with the flow.
Now, if you have ever planned your child's summer vacation, you know the amount of logistics that go into just one young person attending one camp. DiscoverU handles the logistics and preparations for hundreds of students participating in over 90 different programs, all with different enrollment requirements, deadlines, dress codes, meal considerations, locations, times. That's where the summer support protocols come into play.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do as a summer intern is connecting with students who are about to head out to their flows.
So it really is a super exciting time. Finally, the students get to embark on the experience of a lifetime. Whether they're headed across the globe or just around the corner, DiscoverU is on hand to handle any missed flights, nervous parents, or first day jitters. Our summer support protocols ensure that flowsters are coached throughout the entire process. In certain cases, DiscoverU staff does accompany students on their flows as chaperones. Spider-Man, didn't you chaperone a group of middle school students to 4-H camp last summer?
Yes, but I think you mean Joshua Pardo did. He even co-piloted a large passenger van on the 6-hour drive from Houston to Lake Brownwood. The 3-day camp blended the traditional summer camp bunk experience with the hands-on STEM learning. They even went on a sunset boat ride.
I have a colleague. You may know him as Aquaman. He would have really enjoyed that. So a student's journey is not over once they complete the flow, and neither is DiscoverU's work. When students return from the program, DiscoverU staff congratulate them on their accomplishments and ask them to process their experience with a comprehensive post-flow survey. It is engaging and personalized for their reflection. When students return to school in the fall, they are formally celebrated during DiscoverU's Flow Alumni Summit. They also get to practice leveraging their experience to achieve further success.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's cut ours here so you can see these stages in action.
Once you hopefully are accepted, we help you prepare for the actual flow.
To receive support, we do need some important form submissions, and this will happen after the student receives acceptance.
In late October, I will be hosting a parent info session where parents will be able to come and receive more information about that.
Otra cosa es que los programas son todos voluntarios.
As a whole, we always take into account to make sure that our Spanish-speaking families are part of everything that we do.
We give them all the tools they need to go on to their Flow program, but we do not leave them behind. We're still working with them over the summer to ensure that they're in their program and they're enjoying it. We're getting all the ins and outs about the program and their experience.
One really big barrier that we help students overcome, and one that I'm really involved in, is that booking of travel, especially plane tickets. But not only do we book the tickets, we provide students and their families with phone calls, with guides on their itineraries, and then how to navigate airports, because many of our students have either never flown before, or they've never flown without the support of their family.
You want to get here early because you never know how long this line is going to be.
I remember a student when she was on her way to France, and so the advisor was on the phone with her all the way until she got to the gate.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
Way to test to see if your code is actually working.
And so I think that the biggest thing that we can do with Type Along right now is just make sure that we're marketing towards those who are beginning to learn and beginning to be exposed to learning on the computer.
Anyone on the local level, like in Houston, that you're familiar with?
I was going to say Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett? No, that's good.
Yes.
Anyone that's probably in your community?
And before all this happened, I didn't really get grades that well, you know. I usually get like A's and B's, straight A's now. Back then I would just get like, you know, barely passing, C's, things like that. But now it gave me like more motivation and things like that to really work on myself, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Well, going on these programs, it helped me understand my strengths and my weaknesses, and so I thought I was not like cocky or anything. I thought I was probably smarter than what, you know, I actually am, and it helped me humble myself, and it helped me work on what I needed to do. So now when I go on these flows, I try to take as much information as I can and then use it because it's going to be prior knowledge. So I really I'm just glad I got put it into the flows just in general.
I just want to say how great the Flow program is. My granddaughter learned how to put a computer together. She did some, I believe, 3D printing skills, real life, that'll help her later with her life. And I really appreciate this preparation for adulthood.
So being part of Flows, I learned a lot of things, a lot of skills that I still use to this day. One of them being networking. I remember I used to be really shy, being a kid from Senegal, an immigrant. I was just kind of like a little bit hesitant.
Through these experiences, I really saw how other people who are in the shoes that I am today were able to give back to me, and here I am making an impact on others. I've been able to connect with great individuals, great kids who have beautiful futures and potential, and I'm here to relay the information that I got back to them and make the world a better place through DiscoverU.
I love DiscoverU. Once a Flowster, always a Flowster. Just love yourself, and I think you can always grow as long as you're willing to learn.
As a member and then leader of the middle school team and Flow Outreach, it's incredible to see the transformation that can happen for a young person, even when they step out of their comfort zone for just a few days.
Yeah, I bet it would come as a surprise to their families, but the DiscoverU's Boys Cabin absolutely excelled on kitchen patrol. not a dirty plate or overlooked cup in sight.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you brought up the cleanup duty. Obviously, from the photos we saw, the students engaged in high-level STEM activities. But not only that, the independence and sense of responsibility gained from that camp is just as essential for their personal development and their future success.
Yeah, the boys' cabin was only late to the flags one morning. They were the last to be called into breakfast, so that made quite the impression on growing young men. The next morning, the students helped each other wake up and get ready on time.
Awesome. That's a kind of peer support that is something that is encouraged throughout the Flow process. Many DiscoverU campuses have Flow Fellows, which are a group of alum that commit to encouraging fellow students to participate in flows.
You know, I was actually a Flow Fellow under Miss Cruz's direction. I would pick up Shipley's Donuts on my way to school each morning and sell them as a fundraiser for my classmates' Flow participation.
Wait, no, you mean Josh sold the donuts.
You know what? I give up. It's too hard to keep it straight. But listen, it's no surprise that Miss Cruz oversaw one of the most successful Flow Fellow clubs at my high school. She sets an amazing example on how to put the work in to achieve your results. But I'm not the only one who has been inspired by Miss Cruz's determination and tireless effort for the youth.
I was lucky enough to work with Judith way back at the very beginning of her time with DiscoverU, and she was actually brought in to help when I was on maternity leave. She came in, and so we didn't get to work together necessarily side by side for those first couple of months. And, you know, being a new mom and being out and, you know, all of those things, I ended up being really intimidated by Judith. I was worried that she was going to be able to do the job better than me, and they were going to know, you know, was going to know that you know, Judith should have my job and take it away from me. And if you have ever met her, you can tell that I had not spent much time with her, because once I finally did, I realized that she was there to make us all better, whether that was the students, whether that was me, whether that was the other people within the school community that she was working with. It was never a power trip for her. She honestly was there for the work. And it's something that I also was able to see then later on when she was running for school board. And I have to say, you know, at that point, we had been colleagues for many years. I considered her a close friend. And I was worried about her. I said, why would you want to run a campaign? Why would you want to put yourself out there? You know, since campaigns can get so nasty. And she honestly just said, because the students of Houston need me to do this. And that really, right, was just like, of course, right? This is who Judith is. This is who she's been since the beginning of my acquaintance with her. Thank you so much, Judith, for being amazing, for not stealing my job, for showing me how to sacrifice maybe personal comfort for kind of a larger cause, and to look great while doing it. I love you.
Judith has always been very helpful, very kind, very loving, very humble. She's definitely one of a kind. Judith has been there for me in circumstances related to school and also outside of school. She's always been a person to tell me not to give up in my dreams and my goals. She's always been a big supporter of me. She saw my growth from high school to now, and I wouldn't have done a lot of the things I did if it wasn't for Judith and for her support and her being as an inspiration and a role model for me. I think anybody that meets Judith knows that she is always willing to help, always willing to be there for people. I just couldn't thank Judith enough for everything that she's done for me in every aspect of my life. I think she doesn't realize the impact she has on her students and the people around her. I love Judith.
Judith Cruz, hey, you're my hero. Judith Cruz is my hero because she got me my first out-of-state experience, being a first-generation college student, first-generation student here in the United States with 2 immigrant parents. It was a great opportunity. A lot of people like me, you really know about fear. You stay in certain circumstances, you really put yourself in a box, and Judith helped me get out of that. I'm currently a senior at Texas A&M pursuing a degree in management. And this winter, I'll be doing a study abroad in Portugal. And I reached out to Ms. Judith and I told her, hey, Ms. Judith, I'm going to Portugal this winter, and it's all thanks to you. You gave me my first experience, and I can never forget that, and you're my hero. Thank you.
If it wasn't for Ms. Cruz, I wouldn't be in this program right now. I wouldn't even know what a flow is. Because back in the 8th grade year, she helped me and my other friends do programs for flows, such as GeoForce, the U of H program, the NASA program, all of that. She helped me with my essays. She helped me find out which flows were the best for me and how I can get in the flows the easiest way possible.
Hey Judith, thank you so much for everything you've done for DiscoverU and for the kiddos of Houston. You're truly a remarkable person, and your calm energy and willingness to help at any time, your kindness, are things that I keep with me. And I will never forget how in my first year as program director, I was freaking out about buying all these plane tickets for kiddos. And so you sat down with me, you helped me, you reviewed the flights, you were there when I hit purchase, and it was great. And then we realized that the ticket we had just bought for Beijing, the kid was supposed to go to Spain. But you helped us figure it out, and thank you. Love you, Judith.
Hi everyone, my name is Jimena Mondragon, and I graduated KIPP Generations in 2015, and I'm currently the District Director for State Representative Cristina Morales. And we're here to celebrate an amazing person, Trustee Cruz. I met Trustee Cruz back when I was in high school. And I remember specifically when I met her because during this time I found out that I was undocumented because, I wanted to apply to so many programs and I just couldn't apply because I didn't have a social security. And I had, good grades. I worked hard for those grades and all the extracurricular activities. And I just couldn't apply. And, during that time, I was really down just because I really wanted to get into those programs or even try to apply. I just wanted a chance. And so I did, I was very down and I felt like I was never going to reach my goals and dreams because I was undocumented. And now I know that's not the case. But during that time, it just felt like my whole world was falling apart. And I didn't have any hope. I was just like, I should just give up. And so I went to Trustee Cruz and I told her about it. I told her that what was going on. And I even told her my dreams and goals and aspirations. And she didn't doubt to help me. She was like, okay, what do we need to work on? What other programs can we look at? What other options do we have? Or how can we get to your goal? How can we work towards that? With this, roadblock, because this does not define you. And I remember this, like, this does not define you, but it's just a roadblock right now. And how do we work through it? And I remember like just the hope that she gave me, because there was, the light inside of me was a little bit, it was just shut down during that time. And she came and rekindled that light in me. And she was so hopeful and she cheered me on and she helped me and we looked for programs. And I just remember that hope. And it was just amazing how she she keeps believing in me, and how during that time she was that hope that I needed. She was that inspiration that I needed. And I went off to college, and I didn't stay in touch. But then when I came back and started this position, I saw her at an event, and it just felt like home. I saw her and I was like, oh my God, like, I know who that is. And I saw that hope. Because of that hope, that kept me going during that time. And it was just amazing seeing her again. She was running for office at that time, and I was like, oh my God, yes. Like, I was just so excited. I'm still very excited, but I was so excited about her running for office. And now I'm fortunate enough to get, to see her around the community, and how she inspires the community, and how she works hard for the community, and how she works hard for her students. But I just want to say that thank you, Trustee Cruz, for being my inspiration, for being my hope, and for being my hero, because you continue to be one of my biggest cheerleaders, and I know you believe in me, and you continue to give me that hope. Because when I was in high school and I didn't have any hope, you gave me that hope, and I'm always going to be thankful for that. So we're here to celebrate you, and I just want to say thank you for everything you do for our community, and thank you for everything you do for the students, and thank you for being my hero. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And now we will go to the planet of Asgard for our Flow Trivia Bingo. Go ahead and mark your free space at the center.
I am Thor, son of Odin, and this is my brother. There was this one time when we were children, he transformed himself into a snake, and he knows that I love snakes. So I went to pick up the snake to admire it, and he transformed back into himself and was like, "Blah! It's me!" And then he stabbed me. We were 8 at the time.
And I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose.
Right, brother, burdened with glorious bingo.
I need to get off this planet. Come on, let's get this over with.
Okay, well, we've got to start with the rules, because that's what heroes do. We follow the rules. So, take out your card. I'll spin this little cage that reminds me of some cages I've been trapped in, but never for very long before I inevitably escaped, vanquished my enemy, and saved the realm.
What he means to say is that he'll call the icons he pulls out, you'll mark them on your card, and the first one of you to get a line down, across, or diagonal wins.
So I'm calling the icons. They're ticking them off. So what, dear brother, are you going to do?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to do what I do best. Sow chaos.
Every family has one. But let's focus on what's important. Sending kids on flows. Oh. All right.
Time for some fun.
Brother, was this your work?
Not the original, but I know a thing or two about variants. Your beloved DiscoverU won't even get to see students, much less get them on flows.
Well, good thing that I pulled the computer. And my friends at DiscoverU used every tool at their disposal to reach students, amounting to 21,305 emails, 25,312 text messages, and 200 phone calls, not to mention virtual meetings to inform them of their flow options. Despite not being able to go on to any campuses or work with any students in person in the 2020-2021 school year, DiscoverU helped 366 students participate in 451 fantastic learning opportunities. Now, for our next bingo call. Let's see. Oh, what's that? All the happy flowsters? How nice.
No. It's all the people around the world that are going to apply for the Bezos Scholars Program, which only admits 10 students globally to participate in the Aspen Ideas Festival. DiscoverU students don't have a chance.
Foolish brother. DiscoverU has super abilities when it comes to matching the right student with the right program, so that they always have an excellent chance of earning admission. In fact, over the years, 3 DiscoverU students have been selected and successfully participated in the Bezos Scholars Program, while thousands more were matched to the perfect flow for their talents and ambitions. And look at that. This bingo ball has a selected student icon. How neat. Ugh. Let's see. Spin, spin, spin! And I thought Loki was gonna jump in and create chaos, but I guess he really can change. I will proceed. Oh! The notebook and pencil icon it is. Oh, but the background's all white. What happened?
Every applicant's fear a blank page.
DiscoverU's students' screens aren't empty for long, dear brother. All they have to do is schedule an individual advising session with a flow advisor. Flow advisors help students brainstorm ideas for application essays and will suggest revisions to drafts, all in an effort to demystify intimidating application processes. Oh, the white really makes my muscles stand out. Kind of like the outstanding applications DiscoverU students submit. See what I did there? Huh? Clever? No? Huh? Okay. Ready for another spin? Oh! A letter of acceptance! DiscoverU knows that every student is deserving of a boost of confidence that accompanies a flow acceptance. DiscoverU students have had a 95% acceptance rate last year, owing to the efforts staff put into the flow match and application support, as well as negotiating dedicated spots and DiscoverU cohorts. DiscoverU's advocacy ensures that all students, not only those at the top of the class, like me, have high quality, highly engaging experiences. Brother? No wrench you want to throw into that one?
I know what I am. Good, bad, a little bit of both. But knowing kids are empowered and validated in the flow process is all good.
Oh, brother, let us embrace!
This is madness! Loki of Asgard's support of DiscoverU is so uncharacteristic that the timeline is being pruned. Thor has disappeared and been replaced with that guy. And I am an alligator! I won't let the TVA win! The bingo game must continue! Spin, man, spin! This reptile vision is terrible. It's a doctor? Yes, that's what it appears to be. I could really use an eye doctor right now.
DiscoverU goes above and beyond to prepare their students to be successful in flows, going as far to help students get eye exams and new glasses and coordinate COVID tests prior to flow participation.
And I thought I was moody.
Loki, you've ruined everything, just like always.
Wait a minute. I'm the one who swapped species. Ah, that's better. Back to normal. We can't stop now. This game has finally gotten interesting.
Family with unusual hair and bald child? DiscoverU makes connections with parents and guardians at the beginning of the flow process and stays in regular contact, sharing information and addressing questions and concerns.
Bag of money! DiscoverU lowers barriers that keep deserving students from participating in life-changing opportunities. This year's financial aid budget is $75,000 and comes directly from monies raised at this very event. Woo!
Okay. Rocket launching from a box! I could use a rocket right now. Unfortunately, this one's metaphorical. DiscoverU's Flowmatch is so responsive that when DiscoverU identifies an interest area that lacks accessible programming, they use their many connections to help create new and more programs in that area. A great example of this is a digital art course that was actually designed and implemented by Flow alum and summer intern Josh Pardo.
Who was that?
Oh, he's a friend from work.
Anyone can win a fight when the odds are easy. It's when the going is tough. When there seems to be no chance, that's when it counts.
Truer words were never spoken. Oh, where's Meownia? Ha!
Brother, pull another one.
Yes.
Oh dear. It's a plane. Now I'm sorry to say this, but this one's on me. I set it up before I understood how DiscoverU disrupts the status quo when it comes to experiential learning.
Loki, what did you do?
I thought it might be funny to use a storm to strand the student in Boston over the 4th of July. I mean, what can I say? I'm a mischievous scamp.
Good thing I'm the god of thunder. Feel the wrath of mighty Thor while DiscoverU contacts parents and program, then the student to ensure everyone is on the same page and the student has a place to stay for the night and a rescheduled flight for the next day.
Did Boston sink into the Atlantic?
Not at all. The city is safe, thanks to me. And the student is now backpacking in the Adirondacks, thanks to DiscoverU.
Oh, yay. Harvard still exists.
Brother, we worked together, much like DiscoverU works with students, families, educational systems, flow programs, airlines, opticians, pharmacies, and anyone else necessary to connect kids to flows. Huzzah!
Well, this is a new experience for me.
When all students have access to transformational life experiences, everybody wins.
Thankfully, for my personal brand, not everyone is a winner on this bingo game. If you did get a bingo, email a photo of the winning card to someone named Ashley Willett. The email is ashley@discoverus.org.
Ashley Willett. Sounds familiar. She sounds nice. I'd like to meet her.
Okay, this is as much positivity as I can stomach. Until next time, Thor.
Brothers don't shake hands! Brothers hug!
Wait, you work with those guys?
Different department.
Okay, I can only imagine what the holiday parties are like, but Anyway, well, don't forget to email Ashley at discoverus.org with a photo of your winning bingo card to claim your awesome DU merch.
We're now at the part of the program that I'm most excited about. We get to hear from the legend herself, Judith Cruz. I hope I've done you proud, Miss Cruz.
So Judith Cruz is a native Texan who has lived in Houston for almost 20 years. Her mother is from Guatemala and she grew up in a bilingual Spanish-speaking home. She received a Bachelor in Arts in Latin American Studies from the University of Texas at Austin and a Master's of Art in Curriculum and Instruction with a focus in bilingual special education from George Washington University. Judith has over 20 years of experience as an educator and volunteer in public schools. She taught at Lee, now Wisdom, High School in HISD and was part of the team that created Liberty High School in the Gulfton area, where she was a founding teacher. Judith is a Teach for America alumna and has served on multiple HISD committees. She co-founded and was president of the Parent-Teacher Association at her neighborhood school, Lantrip Elementary. After her incredible tenure at DiscoverU, she ran for and was elected to HISD Board of Education, representing District 8 and serving as second vice president. Judith currently resides in Houston's Eastwood neighborhood with her husband and 3 sons. Let's hear from her now.
Thank you so much to everyone who is participating either live or in person today. I want to give a special thanks to Michael and Anne for hosting yet again another wonderful event and to honor me on this special day. A very huge thanks to the DiscoverU board, to the DiscoverU staff that's like family for me. It's just really exciting to be here with each of you today, and I am very humbled and honored to be honored. DiscoverU is a critical organization for the development of youth in our city and really across the country and the globe. When I think about DiscoverU, I think of how students are learning beyond the classroom and the experiences that they get to have that are nothing that you can teach in the classroom. You can't teach in a textbook. You have to live it. You have to experience it. You have to taste it. You have to smell it. You have to be involved with other students that are experiencing the same experience and talking to adults that are teaching you and guiding you in these experiences. It's like nothing else, and I hope that we can continue to support this amazing and unique organization. I had the opportunity during the many years that I worked in DiscoverU and even, as a classroom teacher to encourage students to help them overcome barriers that they face, right? And when we're thinking about experiencing a lot of these opportunities or even accessing college or scholarships or just things that seem so normal to so many of us. And what I would always tell my students is, a lot of times they would just be scared, right? It's like, Miss, I don't know what this is gonna be like. I'm scared to get on a plane, or I'm scared to be with students that I don't know or go to a new place. But I'd always tell them, if you don't try it, you will never know, right? So it's always like, just try, or just, a lot of times they would be like, what if I don't get accepted? And I'm like, well, if you don't apply, you won't know if you get accepted, right? And so, and I tell my own children the same thing, right? It's like, you just have to take a lot of risks sometimes and see where it takes you and ask for help. A lot of times when students were writing essays or having to raise money, it requires humility. It requires asking for help. And, I always tell my students it's totally okay. And I think we need to normalize asking for help. And that's how most of us get ahead, right? If we don't ask for help, whether it's now in school, whether it's for getting an internship or going on a flow, we're just gonna be stuck where we are. And so taking risks, asking for help, and you never know until you try. So a challenge that we're facing currently right now, right, is everything that the students experienced because of the global pandemic, because of COVID-19. So the most obvious one is learning loss, right? We know that we have to address the gaps that have only increased during the pandemic. But I think a lot of times, it's easy to just kind of get boxed in and think, okay, we've got to hire tutors and we've got to make sure that students are reading not just on grade level, but beyond, and that they're performing math. But it goes so much beyond that. Their social emotional development, making sure that students are receiving tools and experiences and all of these things that matter so much in their development. That's not just, it is academic, but it's much more in enrichment and preparation that they can't learn in a classroom. And so we have to make sure that we, as a school board, as school districts, as anyone that's a policymaker and a decision maker, that we're putting our resources where it matters, that we're saying if this is important, if we want students to succeed, then we have to make sure that we prioritize their learning, their experiences, and that we do everything we can to make sure that students, again, know those choices that they have, that they feel and they know what they want when they leave our classrooms. I hope that the children of Houston reach their potential. We have to be able to, as adults, give them all of the tools and the opportunities so that they can reach their potential. And this is obviously in terms of academics, of school, of wonderful classroom environments and school environments, but it has to go beyond that because we want them to be prepared to be global citizens, to be prepared for any career and any study that they take on after they graduate. And if they don't have those experiences before they leave, we're not setting them up for success. So we have to make sure that students are given every single opportunity, that they know exactly what is available to them after they leave our schools and when they graduate, that they have lots of different choices and that they know what those choices are. I would love to see DiscoverU continue to expand, not just in Houston, but across the country. It's a unique organization, but it's not an organization that is unique in terms of what the possibilities are. It should be the norm for students to have experiences such as experiential learning, to be able to study abroad, to be able to go to a university and learn about engineering, or to be able to go and do an environmental program in the summer. This should be the norm for every student, and I hope that anyone that's viewing this will continue to support this organization. Again, I'm honored to be honored, but most importantly, this is for the students and for their hopes and dreams.
Such wise words from a true hero.
Absolutely. The students of our great city are so lucky to have Judith's advocacy. DiscoverU is the amazing organization it is today thanks to her hard work, her vision, and unrelenting efforts to connect students to flows. So thank you, Judith, for sharing your gifts with us all.
And a huge thank you to our sponsors again. Keep those donations coming. We are so grateful for your support. It truly means so much to us. I know someone who benefited from the DiscoverU aid, and he told me it really does make a huge difference for students like him. You can continue to donate and encourage your friends and family to do so as well until Friday, December 31st, 2021.
Well, Spidey, I think our time here is up.
And that's the truth, Wonder Woman. From all of us here at DiscoverU, remember that experience matters. Thank you for spending your morning with us, and we can't wait to see you in the new year.